Recently, I received a comment from a private client that motivated me to record this video for you. He said, "Tom, fascia squats are unbelievable. My legs are strong, my lower back pain is gone, and my balance is rock solid. I feel better than I have in years. How do you come up with these exercises?" This kind of feedback reminds me of the real power fascia exercises have on the body, especially when we're talking about strength, mobility, and vitality at any age. Now, you might be wondering, how can fascia squats make a 64-year-old man feel so strong and full of energy? The short answer is elasticity. But not just any elasticity. I'm talking about the body's natural ability to move with lightness and energy, something we often lose over the years. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do fascia squats so that you too can restore that elasticity, improve strength and coordination, and feel your body become more agile and responsive. You'll learn 3 essential steps that make this exercise so powerful. But before we dive into the practice, we need to understand what elasticity really means. The image I like to use is this. Imagine an old pair of underwear, the kind you've worn so much that the waistband has completely lost its stretch. The piece just doesn't stay in place anymore because it's lost its elasticity. It's a funny image, I know, but it perfectly illustrates what happens to fascia as we age. Fascia is an extremely flexible connective tissue that wraps around all the muscles in the body, almost like a protective film that holds everything together. If you've ever cut into a chicken breast, you may have noticed that thin layer around the meat. That's fascia. When it loses elasticity, the body loses that natural spring that allows for light, quick, and powerful movements, and the muscles have to compensate by working harder than they should. This overload creates imbalances that can build up over time, leading to loss of strength, reduced agility, decreased balance, and an increase in pain and injuries. This is exactly why many adults over the age of 50 or 60 find it difficult to move easily, even during simple everyday activities. What fascia squats do is restore some of that lost elasticity by retraining the body to use the energy stored in the fascia, allowing each movement to become more efficient and less tiring. With consistent practice, you begin to notice greater firmness in your legs, better posture, less lower back pain, and more coordinated movements, almost as if you were regaining the vitality you had decades ago. To start, let's look at the first step of the fascia squat: perfect alignment. Correct posture is crucial because when you align properly, each movement activates the fascia in an ideal way, promoting strength, stability, and elasticity all at once. More specifically, when lowering into the squat, we should only go as far as we can while keeping the upper body upright. If we go lower than that, the body tends to bend at the waist, which reduces the effectiveness of the exercise and limits the fascia's stretch, losing some of the benefits. The goal is to eliminate any unnecessary bending of the spine, keeping what we call the fascia suit stretched, as if each movement were loaded with elastic energy ready to be released. The position of the feet is the next essential point. For this squat, we use a wide stance, wider than shoulder width, but without exaggeration. Everyone has different hip mobility and body structure, so there's no exact measurement. As a reference, think about placing your feet about half a foot's width outside your body on each side, creating a stable and balanced base while still allowing for freedom of movement. Your toes can be pointed slightly outward, which helps open the hips and better activate the muscles of the inner thighs, glutes, and core. This slight outward angle in the feet allows you to distribute weight evenly and keep the internal fascia stretched, ensuring that each squat not only strengthens, but also recharges the body's natural elasticity. Now let's talk about head suspension and spinal posture. Imagine the crown of your head being gently pulled upward by the hand of God, creating a sense of length and alignment that runs through your entire spine. This image helps maintain an upright posture, activating the fascia that runs along the torso, and increasing core stability. At the same time, the shoulders stay relaxed and down, away from the ears, allowing the energy generated from the fascia stretch to remain focused without being lost to unnecessary tension. The chin should remain parallel to the floor, ensuring that the neck stays neutral and the spine is well positioned, with no tension or compensatory curves. By maintaining this setup, each fascia squat becomes a complete practice of body re-education. It's not just about muscle strength, it's about coordination, mobility, balance, and vitality working together. Each repetition stretches the fascia, increases elasticity, and allows you to move with more ease and efficiency, reducing the risk of pain, injury, and muscular overload. With consistency, you'll notice firmer legs, activated glutes, a stronger core, and above all, a renewed feeling of energy and youthful movement, almost as if you've turned back time. Now that we've established this light but consistent tension, without slack, and without excessive stiffness, we can focus on the squat itself. In the wide foot stance, you should squat only to the point where your spine remains upright. As soon as you feel your waist starting to fold, that's a sign you've gone too far. Don't worry if the squat isn't very deep. The goal is not to go as low as possible, but to maintain continuous fascia stretch, strengthening elasticity without compromising posture or creating unnecessary tension. For those who have compromised balance or feel uncertain, there's a simple and effective solution. Position yourself facing a wall, with your elbows slightly bent, keeping a comfortable arm's length distance from the wall. Gently place your hands on the wall as you lower into the squat. This support not only provides safety, but also allows you to focus on fascia activation, maintaining proper posture without worrying about losing balance. In this way, each repetition becomes a complete exercise in strength, stability, and elasticity, allowing even people with reduced mobility to gain the benefits of fascia squats. This will help a lot when performing the exercise, especially if you're concerned about balance or feel unsure about your stability during the movement. It's essential, when squatting and bending the knees, that they follow the direction of your toes. Avoid letting the knees fall inward or outward beyond the feet, keeping them always aligned with the toes, as if they were a natural extension of your foot line. This simple care helps protect the joints, prevents overload, and ensures the movement is efficient, correctly activating the leg muscles and preserving the elasticity of the fascia that surrounds the thigh muscles, quadriceps, and glutes. The second step of the fascia squat happens when you're already in the lowest position of the movement. This is where we transform the squat into a variation inspired by Shiko, the traditional Japanese sumo squat, by adding a shift of your center of mass to one of the legs. At this point, your center of mass, located approximately in the belly button area, is balanced between both feet, which serve as the support base. This centered position is how the body is naturally designed to move in an efficient and stable way. When we decide to shift the weight onto one leg only, it's necessary to carefully move the center of mass by shifting the belly button and the entire torso toward the leg that will bear the weight. It's essential to start the movement from the center, ensuring that the transfer is controlled and balanced. What we must not do, and what many people mistakenly do, is force the shift abruptly without maintaining alignment or fascia activation. This incorrect approach not only compromises the effectiveness of the exercise, but also increases the risk of injury and reduces the elasticity benefits we're aiming for. By performing this weight shift correctly, you can increase unilateral strength, improve balance, and reactivate the fascia's elasticity, ensuring that each phase of the squat works in a coordinated and safe manner. In addition, this movement helps strengthen the core, because the center of mass must be constantly engaged to maintain alignment and control the weight transfer, activating deep abdominal and lower back muscles. Many people, when trying to do this movement, simply bend their torso sideways at the waist, completely losing core activation and compromising stability. In the fascia squat, the key is to keep the torso upright while you transfer the weight. Think of the belly button area as the leader of the movement. It should shift laterally until it is directly over the center of the foot that will support the weight. Many people, when trying to do this movement, simply bend their torso sideways at the waist, completely losing core activation and compromising stability. In the fascia squat, the key is to keep the torso upright while you transfer the weight. Think of the belly button area as the leader of the movement. It should shift laterally until it is directly over the center of the foot that will support the weight. When you shift your weight, you will be balanced on a single foot, intensely activating the muscles of the supporting leg, the hip, and the core. If needed, you can slightly lift the other leg, but in a controlled way, just enough to challenge your balance without compromising posture. This unilateral activation strengthens the muscles more completely, and it also stimulates coordination and stability, key components for preventing falls and injuries, especially in people over 50. When you return to the squat position, you'll notice that the elasticity of the tissues allows you to go a little deeper without losing posture. Each repetition works like a small adjustment, a natural ratchet that gradually increases the depth of the movement. Over time, you'll find that you can squat lower with an upright spine, maintaining control while simultaneously activating fascia, leg muscles, and core, building strength, balance, and mobility in a progressive way. This process is extremely valuable because it combines functional strength, joint stability, and muscle elasticity in a single movement, providing not only endurance and energy, but also that feeling of vitality and lightness that many people feel they've lost over the years. As you continue moving your center of mass, pay attention to your breathing. Inhale deeply as you lower, feeling the stretch spread through all the fascia surrounding the torso, hips, and thighs. Feel each fiber lengthen gently but without excessive tension. The goal is to create elasticity without stiffness. As you rise, exhale slowly, pressing into the ground with the balls of your feet and feeling the return of energy travel up through your body. This connection between breath and movement increases oxygenation in the muscles and tissues, improves circulation, and helps maintain an upright posture, even as fatigue sets in. Another fundamental point is torso control. Imagine your belly button as the axis of a compass, always pointing forward and keeping you aligned. This activates not only the deep core but also the stabilizing muscles of the spine and pelvis, which often weaken with age. With each repetition, you're strengthening the base of your body, making movements safer and more efficient, whether in simple activities like getting up from a chair or more dynamic exercises like climbing stairs or carrying heavy objects. By alternating feet and keeping the movement led by the center, you're also learning how to redistribute weight in a balanced way, avoiding compensations that can cause pain in the knees, hips, or lower back. Every time you shift your center of mass onto one foot, you're training balance, proprioception, and coordination, essential qualities for aging with strength and mobility. And don't forget the elastic aspect of the exercise. When you push the ground with the balls of your feet, you're stimulating the fascia to store energy, like an internal trampoline, allowing for smoother, more explosive, and more controlled movements. This elasticity gives the body back that feeling of physical youth, with fluid, powerful movements, almost as if every step had a slight boost that reduces muscle effort and protects the joints. Now, when you return to the low position or land after a lateral shift, it's time to absorb that force. The idea is to feel the impact and control it. Touch down first with the ball of your foot, allowing the heel to touch the floor softly and gradually, as if you were landing without excess weight. This avoids that rigid heel-first impact that many people have when walking, like a Frankenstein. This motion of absorbing and generating force through the balls of the feet is what stimulates the fascia to strengthen, creating elasticity, joint protection, and more fluid movements. As you gain confidence and control, Gradually increase the number of repetitions, always maintaining awareness of your center of mass, your posture, and your propulsion through the balls of your feet. Over time, these movements will become automatic, and you'll notice your body starting to move with more lightness, elasticity, and energy, as if every step and every squat were smooth, powerful, and effortless. This progression not only strengthens the legs and core, but also revitalizes the fascia's elastic capacity, bringing back that sense of agility, mobility, and youthfulness that many feel has been lost over the years. The secret here is movement awareness. When the 3 steps, proper alignment, center-led movement, and ball of the foot activation come together naturally, you feel an almost meditative flow in the squat. It's not just about completing repetitions, it's about feeling the fascia at work and noticing how the body responds to the force you generate and absorb. Each rep should have rhythm and intention, not haste. To illustrate, think of a simple example. When you find your natural rhythm, each lateral shift and return to the low position happens almost effortlessly, like your body has its own elastic memory, ready to react and absorb impact. It's like learning to dance with your own body. Each movement connects to the previous one, and you feel in tune with your fascia. In addition, this rhythm helps release unnecessary muscle tension. Many people do exercises focused only on strength, but here the focus is on elasticity and energy absorption. When the rhythm is right, you notice you can go deeper into the squat, maintain upright posture, and still feel the body flowing with ease. With consistent practice, the sense of lightness, stability, and strength becomes noticeable, and you realize that each rep works not only the legs, but the entire movement chain of the body from core to feet, in a coordinated and powerful way. When you reach this point in the fascia squat, you realize something very important. The movement isn't choppy, it's not interrupted or too heavy. It's fluid and rhythmic, almost like you're dancing. That rhythm is the indicator that the body is in an ideal state for building elasticity, not unnecessary muscle tension. Many people confuse intense training with effective training, but when we talk about fascia and elasticity, the key isn't brute strength, it's internal coordination and body awareness. The secret is treating this workout as a skill. It's not just another session of physical effort. It's a training of internal precision. You learn to organize your body from the inside out to activate that hidden strength in the fascia, that elastic energy you didn't even know you had. Each repetition, each lateral shift, each press through the balls of your feet contributes to that internal organization. Instead of exhausting yourself with intense workouts, you learn to apply proper technique, rhythm, and alignment awareness. It's like learning to play an instrument. At first, you focus on each note, each movement, and over time it all flows naturally. With fascia squats and other fascia strength exercises, you're not just training muscles, you're training the entire elasticity system of the body, unlocking more powerful, resilient, and tension-free movements. The most interesting part of all this is that we're looking at training in a completely different way. It's not just about lifting weights or doing reps until exhaustion. It's about training the body as an integrated system, where every muscle, every joint, and most importantly, every fascia tissue works together to generate strength, stability, and elasticity. That's the big secret that sets fascia strength apart from traditional exercises. You learn to use your body's own elastic structure as an internal engine that drives more efficient, smoother, and more powerful movements. What I want you to take away from this video is that exercise doesn't have to be painful or boring to be effective. By focusing on elasticity, rhythm, and body awareness, you can build lasting strength, stability, and vitality. Try it, practice daily, and feel your body respond with more agility, power, and health each day.